Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer, coming to you from Southern California here on the Pacific Coast area. We have the full moon still in Virgo. We're heading towards the later degrees, which gives us the sun in Pisces and the moon in Virgo. So as you know, when we have a full moon, that means that we have an opposition of the sun and the moon. So, for many of you out there who are born on a full moon, this is a very special time of the month. Every month, that really takes us through a 2.5 day cycle. It's like we've been building and building and building, right? To these moments that bring us to the peak. And, when we have a full moon like this, especially how amazing that this moon is, how powerful it is. We have a lot of things going on around it that I'll talk briefly about. This is a time for us to really plant our intentions for the rest of the year. With the full moon in Virgo, Virgo is really all about dissecting. It's about analyzing what we have, okay? It's as if we're going to make a table. We're going to have beautiful dishes on the table, the forks, the spoon, the knives, and everybody brings their dish to the table. And it's all about how many people we can feed efficiently. How many of us all get a little tiny piece of the pie, right? So Virgo is all about feeding others, taking care of others. We look at one of our famous Virgos, Mother Teresa. And when you look at her work, you see that she was all about how she could feed those less fortunate around her, how she could create this care package, so to speak. And that really is what Virgo is about. Now, in our day and age, especially with the internet and stuff, this can play out in a lot of different ways. Feeding somebody or feeding the masses isn't always about, it's not always about food. It can be a lot of different ways to express that concept. For example, Virgos often are very good writers because they like to take a piece of something that they specialize in or that they like to teach. Virgos are often teachers, and create a book that everyone can get a piece of. And in this book, it can be nurturing to the soul. It can feed the soul. So for those of us out there right now, this is a great time to really plan and really put into action how you're going to bring these great ideas. Okay, now great ideas and visions will say Sun, Mercury, and Neptune all in Pisces. So our visions are so grandiose right now. Okay, they're so big. It's really easy though, and this, speaking from a moon in Pisces, I also have a sun in Virgo, many of you guys know. So this is my element. This opposition is a very special oppositional axis. I was born myself on a full moon. It's the opposite. I was born with the sun in Virgo, moon in Pisces. But these oppositions, when they come together, can do amazing things. And so it's the same with what we're passing through right now, is this opportunity that the 12th house gives us, as the sun is in the 12th house of Pisces, this ability to see into the future, to dream big. Dreams, it's kind of like the question, if anybody's ever asked you, okay, if money was no issue, if time was no issue, if nothing was stopping you, what would your heart's desire? What would you want to do? And that really is the heart of this Piscean energy that we're moving into right now. Now, Neptune has also been in Pisces the last 7 years. So if you really look at even, the communities, social media, the collective, What have we been doing the last 7 years? You've seen more art than ever. You've seen more opportunities to care for animals, especially the ocean, bringing up what's going on in the ocean, the toxic areas, the areas that we're not taking care of, those things, and how those things really, without them, how it takes away from us this amazing, beautiful, harmonious, getting into my words here, um, vibration. For example, if we look at wild horses, one of my, near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite and, topic on caring for the wild horses, but horses are represent Pisces, okay, because Pisces speaks of large animals. So, for example, speaks of horses, elephants, whales, this ability of these animals to communicate and provide a sense of healing to the human. They're not predators, okay? They are a prey type of animal, an animal that has the ability, to connect with us. And horses are one of them. So horses, the wild horse issue has been on the table the last 7 years. If any of you have looked into something like that specifically, you'll see that the universe, the earth, is bringing up these issues that are connected to the themes that the planets are giving us. So this is just one of many ideas, but just to give you guys kind of a big picture that we've seen this type of, this is what the discussions are. These are the themes. Now, Pisces also can represent mental health, being the 12th house. It's about the hidden chambers in the mind. It also can represent isolated places such as prisons or mental health hospitals or churches. It's this very old, sanctified places that we can go to find that solitary connection. It's like you know who you are. I get so many emails, and including myself, my own thinking. It's really right now all about knowing who we are, right? It's about truly knowing, who we are as individuals, to be settled with that. Pisces really isn't about competition or trying to push your way through or knock people out of the way. It's really about this quiet, still voice inside that we all have. But when when the energy is, stirring around like it has been for so long now, keeping us all, very distracted. When you're getting a lot of social media coming in, you're being triggered all the time, okay? So it's hard to really know even anymore how to get quiet inside, how to just be comfortable with the silence. And when you, at least in my opinion, can attain the harmony or the comfortability or, just the ability to really be okay with yourself and that still quiet voice inside. You don't need to hurry up and do something else. Pisces also is a great healing, or I should say, it has the ability to express itself, I'll put it that way, through healing things such as massage, such as music, such as Reiki, such as, again, animal communication. These are all areas that are very good for our mental health. Now, going back to the fact that we have the moon full in Virgo right now, Virgo really represents the small animals, more of the veterinarian, more of dogs and cats and birds and, little rodents, anything that is usually a predator, okay, that eats meat, the small animals, Virgo rules. So right now we have this huge connection to our earth, to this ability to move in and out of these dimensions. Okay, I'm using the example of animals because, again, this is a good example for these signs. When we look at the different signs of the zodiac, certain signs dominate and rule different themes, different areas in our earth, in our universe. And so right now, the ability to read through what's happening around you and to connect with such things as animals, the trees, the birds, to listen to the voices, listen to the music, I should say, from the birds, the howling of the wind, seeing that full moon rise. There's a connection like never before. And I want to encourage everyone to slow down a minute and to really embrace and to really feel, how are you feeling as we're having all of these spiritual changes and spiritual connections. Now we have the sun, we have Mercury, and we have Neptune in Pisces. So there's a lot of this watery energy coming through right now. And, there's been a lot of anxiety. As we know, Moon in Virgo is definitely high anxiety. Virgo's, because it's ruled by Mercury, is, deals with a lot of high anxiety. Mercury, is that fast planet, the closest to the sun. Now, the sun is where everything's happening, right? Just like when we look at our Leos out there. How's my Leos doing out there? When we look at the Leo, everything is revolved around the sun, revolved around the Leo. Leos get a bad rap because they say, you just think everything's revolved around you. Well, guess what? It is. And so Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, and it goes around very quickly. Mercury's kind of like the journalist, going around seeing what's going on. The sun is what we're all focused on, that warm, beautiful sun. So, when we take Mercury, this fast-moving planet, the journalist, running after the latest story, okay, and we put it in the water in Pisces, what do we have? What happens? We have this, this energy slowing down, those fast thoughts in our mind beginning to slow down. Now, for me tonight, because the moon is full, my mind's going really fast because it's triggering a part of my chart that I'm so familiar with. And so a lot of things are clacking, so to speak. They're making sense, but they're moving quickly. All right, they're moving quickly for me, and I've had a lot of high anxiety the last couple of days. Just not able to sleep, and, just kind of this whole being settled with what's going on around me. And so, I'm just encouraging everybody today to really, to embrace this energy. It would be like taking, maybe even, electricity, so to speak, electricity wires and putting them in the water. What would happen? Kind of can short out a little bit. So some of you might be feeling really exhausted or feeling like it's too much. You're feeling everything. Pisces is about feeling everything. That's why I brought up the large animals, because the ability to read body language, the flicker of an ear, to read animals, to read what's happening around you. It's a special gift when you're able to communicate on that level, even to slow down enough to pay attention. And so this is what we're being asked to do right now. We're really being asked to look at what's going on inside. What visions are we having right now? What visions have we been having the last 7 years? Many people feel like, what? I put my heart out there, and in all these different areas, I'm dreaming, I believe in myself, and here I am, still feeling like I'm starting over again. It's this push-pull. It's this, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, right? But I challenge us all to look at what we've all been going through the last few years. And instead of seeing it as I'm being stopped or I'm starting again, we need to look at it as, just like when you're getting ready to start a car, when you're turning that car over, the engine, wah, 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 right? And sometimes you get a little bit of a boom, right? And it just kind of dies out a minute. And then the next time, you get a little more. And then finally, you turn it, va-voom, and you are going. You're just rumbling. It's like you're ready. And that's often what it's like when we get just a little taste of what life could be like when we're fulfilling our dreams. Sometimes we're not ready for that dream to actually be fulfilled. Maybe we need to be, more mature. Maybe there's some lessons that we need to really master before we take on those responsibilities. I mean, it's great to dream. It's great to have a vision. But if we're ever going to do anything about it, it takes great responsibility. Now, with this full moon right now, it's about not only, okay, what are my visions, but how are we going to break it down into those little pieces and make it happen? It's like here you have this puzzle, right? And you break it all up and there's pieces everywhere and you begin to put them together. You begin to little piece here, little piece there, until pretty soon you see this whole picture. That's what Virgo's about, breaking it down so we can create a solid foundation. Now, we also have, let's take a look here as well. And we also have Venus, Saturn, and Pluto, and the South Node, all in Capricorn. So again, another huge heavy hitters. Now, the good news is Saturn, or I should say Capricorn, and Pisces is a sextile, so they're very harmonious. It's like often Pisces can really, be out there floating, so to speak, kind of in the clouds. Pisces are known for just staring up into the clouds, right? One of my favorite pastimes, seeing the different shapes happen. It's like, do you see how that cloud looks like a bird? And then you show somebody else and they go, I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, the Pisces has the ability to make something out of nothing, or to see things in something or in pictures that maybe nobody else sees. And that's what gives them that edge on really creating a spiritual vision. Because a spiritual vision is really all about believing and seeing what is normally unseen. Faith requires us to believe in the unseen, for the veil to open, and for us to have these very intimate conversations with the universe that are private, that are special. It's like, getting in the car. And I don't know about you guys, but there's different times where I notice this more. And again, having a moon in Pisces, I'm very in tune to it. If you got in the car where all day long you're listening to the radio and it's just nailing it on everything that's happening in your life. It's like you're connected to, the radio, the airwaves, and this music is coming in. Now, if I told somebody that the music is talking to me all day long, or, speaking to me all day long, most people would say, that's, there's something wrong with that. In fact, even in, when you look at mental health and you look at different ways that things are looked at. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit off there. I wanted to use a specific word, but it wasn't coming to me. Symptoms, different symptoms. A lot of times they'll say, oh, do you think the music is speaking to you? That can be a problem. Well, really, when you look astrologically at this, the music is speaking to us. It's like in the background of our movie. But you have to be that visionary. I mean, how do you think movies are, made? Writers who write books and stories, it comes with this vision. And, it's connecting to things on such a really special level where you can hear those messages and find a way, Moon in Virgo, to communicate what you are hearing and to teach or to share with others in a way that's healing and beneficial. Because I'm a believer that, the universe is always speaking to us. The trees are speaking, the rocks, the wind, the moon. It's just all a matter of if you're willing to slow down, if you're willing to connect there. Now, those of you out there who have very dominant Piscean energy in your chart, it's going to come very natural to you. And that's why most people think Pisces are a little woo-woo, a little out there, but really they're connecting to all these different dimensions, and it makes them so special. Now, with all of this energy in Capricorn, go back to that topic I was trying to share with you, that there's this harmonious connection between Capricorn and Pisces, because Pisces, like I said, can get really kind of out there and almost doesn't care if they really make money on it, or if they have this big business or anything with it. They just love what they do. They love to be a vessel of healing or spiritual connection, but it doesn't pay the bills. Unfortunately, we see one of the number one signs for, say, maybe homeless, or not having money, or not having all of the great things in life, the luxuries of life, because Pisces really operates from such a spiritual level that if they could operate just off of that and that took care of them, they'd be so happy just to do what they love, just to be a vessel. But with Venus, Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node in Capricorn, it's really all about right now how to structure these visions. We've got to put legs on them, right? We've got to build a foundation. Now, Capricorn, when we look at Capricorn, we often say Capricorn's the sign that builds the empires, right? Builds the empires. But if you really look, they're the ones that actually lay out the plan, put in the slabs, pour the cement, all the stuff that none of us want to do. Like, we want to be bringing in the flowers and decorating and putting the curtains on. That's more Taurus, right? And as we speak, Mars has just moved into Taurus. Also, Uranus moving into Taurus. A new 7-year cycle. So you can see there's so much going on. I want to be able to cover so much of it, but I just want to be able to try to, give you a lot of information to just slow you down and help you focus on what's available to us, what opportunities are right in front of us. So, taking our visions, laying that foundation, building that empire, that might mean you need a crew around you. You need other talents around you. You need other people to help you. If you're not good at pouring the cement, you need to be able to get a good cement guy, all right? And that is what Capricorn's good at doing, being that boss, delegating, compartmentalizing, and making something come together. So there's a strong discipline that we're all learning right now, that we're all able to begin to see that it's beneficial for us. That discipline is really power and control, okay? Power and control. Now, we know that Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, we have a beautiful trine here. These are sister signs, the earth. So we have Taurus planting the seeds, putting up the curtains, putting out the beautiful blankets, the pillows, putting on your fuzzy Nordstrom socks, right? Drinking tea, all of the senses. Now, Virgo is a little bit more about making lemonade out of a lemon, or making something out of nothing. Virgos are scrappy. I mean, it's not unusual to see Virgo as a dumpster diver, okay? I'm just saying this as something funny, because Virgos could take something that somebody gave them and make total use out of it and make it work for them. And so again, they're not really, focused on money in that way. They want just enough money to get the product going, to make it happen so that they can feed those around them. Taurus is a little bit more about making the money. How can we make money? How can we provide an environment, the feng shui, the energy to really bring about success? So all of these working together right now, you guys, is really strong business sense, business opportunity. We also have all of the planets moving forward right now. Very, very rare. Now, Mercury is going to retrograde in Pisces. We're in the shadow right now. So, this is our first retrograde of 2019 in Pisces. And you know what? This brings back old relationships, old spiritual connections, friendships. It'll bring old spiritual gurus back into your life, or an old book that's been hidden in the cupboard that you pull out that's new again. This will also bring back things in your life like, maybe you lost that ring 20 years ago. And all of a sudden you open up this drawer and tucked away back in there is that ring. It's found you again, or you've made that connection. Because Pisces, again, is all about operating on this totally other side of life. Seeing those special things where it's like Christmas every day. That's why, Pisces don't do well wearing watches. In fact, their high vibration often will break watches or anything with time, because they operate on a high level where things are coming in and out of their lives miraculously. And it's about letting go. So here we are. We've got this total let go, let God, and then we have this analytical thing going on, trying to keep us focused. At the same time, there's your opposition, bringing it together. We've got, laying the slab, pouring the cement, getting your collaborations going, getting your crew around you, giving everybody a job to make one big vision happen. And, we have Mars and Taurus, Uranus and Taurus. This is all about valuing ourselves, Often when you think about this value that we're going to be dealing with or looking at, discussing the next 7 years, it's really from that age period in our lives from like 14 to 21. Where you're feeling awkward, you don't know your value, maybe you're valuable if you're in a group of friends. What is your worth? What is your value? A lot of us, especially on the internet, we've all been giving away so much of our talents and our gifts, astrology or, tarot or any of these, spiritual concepts, spiritual tools. They're, on every corner, right? We can get that. But really, when we start looking now at this value, it's kind of like, wait a minute. I don't just want anybody on any corner. I want a special teacher, a special master, special astrologer, one that I value. And I'm willing to pay for that because I value and I want to respect that. And then if you are of that service, or any service I'm talking about, I'm just using this as an example, it's time to say, hey, I'm worth this. I put a lot of time into this. I pour my heart into it. And so for somebody else to value it, I got to value myself. And so there has to be this valuable exchange. It's not always money. It could be bartering. It could be, sharing, collaborating. Whether it's your time, whether it's money, there's a value now. So if you're really kind of feeling like I'm burned out, I've been giving away so much, just giving it and giving it, that you might feel a little down, a little depressed, a little bit worn out, and you think, gosh, I really love this, what I do, but I'm getting tired. I'm letting it go. I'm giving out that energy. It's time to really consider valuing it. And if you don't value it, there'll be somebody coming along next to you that values theirs. And at the end of the day, it doesn't do us or give us any more or less respect if we give it away. It's about valuing it. And so again, I go back to this 14 to 21-year-old awkward stage, when you're in, high school and you're trying to find your value. And then, you turn 18, 19, 20, and you start going, wow, I really do have these talents, these gifts. It's the direction I want to go. I value my time and my life. And I know that I have to invest in certain things to really be able to have the big picture happen. So, all of this being said, and again, I'm looking at the chart, it's just speaking so much to me. Jupiter in Sagittarius, the North Node in Cancer. Here we have mother themes, caretaking themes, looking at our elders, again, our masters, our teachers, and valuing what they have to say. So often, have you ever tried to share something with someone and, you go to tell them and they go, oh, I know. Or they tell you a story better than what you're saying, or they talk right over you, or, again, they're not even listening to what you're sharing. And, they're not valuing that moment. What they're valuing is being able to have something better or say something to, even to be on the same page. But in this energy, we're looking at our elders. We're looking at having mentors. We're looking at being teachable. If you're not teachable, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to cut the chase. You want to, the goats, the goats and the sheep. You want to separate those. It comes down to being teachable, to being quiet, to listening, to not have to have the answers, to not to know more, better, have a better story. You already know, we see so much of that. And, often even when I'm doing my readings, I have so much I want to share once I've spent time in a reading. And sometimes I have clients that just want to share their stories with me for the whole hour. And I'll try to say, hey, I got something I want to, and they're so busy sharing with me what they know and their story and their life that at the end they always say the same thing. I wish I would have stopped talking. I wish I would have listened. The hour's gone. And they have this whole recording of them talking the whole time. Now, I'm not saying that that isn't valuable, because sometimes we just need to have somebody to listen to us so we can get it out. But at the end of the day right now, this new 7-year cycle is going to really be about being teachable. If you're teachable and you can quiet yourself down, you can be humble, you're going to hold the keys to the city, because the information that you're going to gain, the downloads and the opportunities require us to be able to, get in tuned and to be taught. All the know-it-alls out there, they're going to be knowing it all, the same know-it-all, all the way down the road with no new information. So I know I'm going all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and try and bring this video down. If you guys have questions or you'd like to book a reading, email me at crystallyn68@gmail.com. I'll put the links below. Just to connect, say hi, just to have that connection that we're all on the same page and we can give each other that spiritual, valuable support right now. All right, you guys, I know I was talking fast. Again, this moon is really has me feeling very good, and I wanted to get this message out while I was feeling good. So I hope you have a great full moon, and just hang in there. Let that retrograde come in and bring back into your life those valuable spiritual experiences that you need now more than ever. Okay? So we'll be talking soon. Please let me know what's going on below. If you have any questions, comment below. I love to hear what you guys are doing and saying. It really helps me tap in to the collective astrologically. Okay. All right, you guys. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.